All right, welcome in everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. We're talking Mindset Monday. And so we are going to dive right in. Some of you that have been here waiting for me for a few minutes have seen this chart over to the side and talking about just how the United States healthcare system is performing overall. So let's make this a little bit bigger so you can all see this. But it's really depressing when you take a look at this and just how much money we spend on healthcare in the United States of America. We spend on average $11,000 per person every single year. And what that totals up to is about 1/5 of our gross domestic product is going to this right here. And this healthcare system, the most expensive healthcare system in the world, in a system where we take the most medications, where we have the best medical professionals in the world, where we have the best surgical outcomes, where we have the best emergency outcomes, where it's the most expensive. It also is the worst performing industrialized nation in the world when it comes to healthcare. And so really this breaks down to a couple different areas, and it really has to start with our mindset on health. The first thing that we get wrong as Americans is right between our ears. We think that we're healthy until we feel good. And there's no definition of health in the world that defines health as how you feel, how you look, how you feel about yourself. All those things play a role. But the key thing in this actually comes down to prevention. We don't do anything about our health until after something's already gone wrong. We wait until we feel awful. We focus on cures. We march for cures. We invest billions upon billions of dollars into cures, and yet we know that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so we have to take this other mindset where we don't wait until we feel a symptom, but we invest in our health from a prevention perspective. So investing in health from a prevention perspective. But before we get there, we have to actually start with what health is. Health is not the presence or absence of symptoms. Health is not looking good or feeling good. Health, by definition, is 100% optimal function and healing. And yet, if we go back to that old definition, how you look and how you feel, and you wait until you feel a symptom, and you look at the top killers in the United States. So we're all scared about this COVID thing right now. But really, when you look at what's killing Americans, almost 2/3 of us are going to die of heart disease or cancer. And you go in and you add in Alzheimer's disease, dementia, diabetes. Now you've got 90% of the diseases that are going to kill us right there. And if we wait till we feel them building in our bodies, it takes decades of it being present in our body before we feel a symptom. But if we're proactive, if we do the things that keep us healthy, if we focus on the real definition of health, so what health is 100% optimal function and healing. When you focus on function, you can be healthier. 0% function is dead. 100% function is health and life and vitality across all the areas. So we have to focus on healing and function. So start there. Where does that come from? Well, that comes from living a 5 essentials lifestyle. 5 essentials. What are those essentials? Number one is mindset. That's why Monday is Mindset Mondays. Knowing what health is, investing in your state, not giving into fear, focusing on facts, focusing on reality, focusing on how we live this life. Number two, what controls that function inside your body? It's your nervous system. When God designed you, He designed you incredibly. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Our immune systems were designed to fight off all of these sicknesses, viruses, bacteria, microbes. There is nothing in this world that our body wasn't designed to overcome, but it resides in that intelligence that's inside of your nervous system. So how do you take care of that? How do you know it's healthy? You test it. You don't guess. You don't say, well, it feels fine like our healthcare system does. You invest in being able to take care of it. That's what chiropractors do. That's what we specialize in. And specifically in our office, we specialize in structural corrective care, making sure that when you're looking at your spine from the side, it has these 3 45-degree curves. And when you're looking at it from the front, that it's straight up and down, just like this. When it looks like that, then your nervous system is perfectly protected. But when it's out of alignment at all, 2 millimeters or 2-degree shift away from the normal starts to put pressure on those nerves, or not necessarily pressure, but misaligns the spine such that the muscle spindles and muscle spindle fibers and the communication between the nerves and the brain starts to actually shut this down and keep your brain from even knowing what's going on on the other side. If you want to be healthy and well, you have to make sure that this is healthy and well. And this actually goes back to my story and why I started in chiropractic. Because I started off, I thought I was healthy. My mom thought I was healthy. My dad thought I was healthy. But at 2 weeks old, I quit breathing for the very first time, turned blue, down to my elbows, my mom says. Rushed me to the emergency room, put me on monitors. I quit breathing 14 times that night. I went to specialist after specialist after specialist, University of Michigan Children's Hospital. They said I had SIDS and said, hopefully he'll grow out of it. Finally, after months of this, I was 6 months old by the time my mom's best friend communicated to her thoroughly enough to get me to a chiropractor. He took one look at me and knew exactly what was going on. The top bone in my neck, it was shoved over to the side such that there was pressure on the brainstem and specifically where the vagus nerve exited off and goes down to my lungs. And he did one adjustment, and I've never had a breathing problem since. And so that type of evaluation is the only can be done in a chiropractor's office. There's nobody else that analyzes the spine like we do. And so if you want to be healthy and well, start with the mindset, start with your nervous system, and then number 3, start with nutrition. That intelligence inside you can animate you and control you, but you need to replace yourself at a cellular level. Every 15 years, you get a brand new body. So over the course of our lives, if all we do is live to the average life expectancy, we replace ourselves almost 5 times. And so that has to be done by giving yourself the right nutrients. And in our country, we get 4 basic categories wrong. Number 1, our fats are very inflammatory. We're getting fats that are highly processed and suppress our immune system by creating inflammation. Number 2, we eat too many carbohydrates. It's estimated that we eat over 1/3 of a pound of sugar every single day. And sometimes some estimates are as high as 2 pounds of sugar every single day, or 2/3 of a pound, sorry. Almost 167 pounds of sugar every single year. Number 3, our protein sources are denatured and they're raised the wrong way. They're being inflamed by the way that they're being raised. A corn-fed cow, a grain-fed cow, its fatty acid ratio is so far off that it creates inflammation, even if it's not exposed to any toxins at all. And number 4, we're not getting enough oxygen into our cells. Every cell in your body requires oxygen except for cancer cells. And so we want to make sure that we're getting enough oxygen in our body. How does that happen? Exercise. You can give yourself all these oxygen treatments, hyperbaric chambers. You can put ozone, you can do ozone therapy, but the best way to get oxygen in on a daily basis is through exercise. And number 5, we have to minimize our exposure to toxins. And so if you need a consult, we're doing phone consults right now. We're doing consults in the office. We're doing them one at a time. So you can have a private viewing in the office, a private consultation with me. Just call the office. You can call or text us at 402-413-8825. And I'll be happy to respond to your text message. We'll take your phone call. We'll be happy to set that up for you. But we're going to be doing these live streams every single night after shift in the office. You can tune in every single week. Make sure that you're plugging in. Tomorrow we'll be going through the nervous system and some key ways to keep that healthy while you're at home. So I've been Dr. Jake Tucker. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you again soon here on Facebook, YouTube, in the office. You guys have a great night.